We got the crunchy snacks today.
Actually,
You can't? Oh, okay, good.
Can't see one. The
Snacks?
snacks?
You can
That's
hear
it.
it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'm my first and last.
We got to save our stomachs for Rolando's birthday dinner.
Yes.
Steak.
We're a couple days behind. We're a little late
Yeah,
on his birthday dinner.
It's a do-over.
It's a
Yeah.
do-over.
Oh.
Did we talk about why we have to do a do-over?
No, we don't have to.
Just know it involves bad halal food.
Uh-huh.
You know what?
And the Tesla.
Which halal
And a
place
sick
did you guys go
dog.
to?
It's right here. It's on the
Oh, okay.
by Edison.
Okay, all right. No, because I've had issues with halal food, like the
City
halal
ones,
guys
right?
in the city.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. I
There's
had
one by
problems.
us in East Brunswick.
Yeah, I almost never make it
Is
home
it
in time.
all same guys or is it like all different people? That
It's
own-
all the same owners, I believe. Like
yeah?
they've expanded worldwide. They're all over
The food's good.
Yeah.
It's really, really good, but you know,
There's better
it's amazing.
spots.
It's amazing going in, but you know, coming out,
Yeah.
not fun.
There's a couple of better spots, but that's the most well-known one.
Uh-huh.
So they're everywhere. I remember we went to New Orleans and had
They had halal guys there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, where we went on this weekend was not halal, guys. It was another different
listen,
company.
like, more
When,
like a-
local.
when I eat in the city, I'm okay eating at establishments that have like a B or a C rating. I'm cool with that, right?
A C?
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like Big Wong and
Is there
stuff.
still all the cardboards out here? How dare you?
No. That is a new one that was being thrown out for recycling anyway. Anyway, let's stay
Gonna
focused.
burn them?
So
Burn them?
I think so. My dad's all his
no, those are mine.
cardboards.
I was cutting all morning. I was 6:30 this morning. I woke up this morning to do stuff. But in any case, the one that I go to is outside by MoMA and stuff, and it tastes good. Don't get me wrong. It's just going in is a great experience. Going out, not so much. That's
Is
all.
it a C rating?
So I don't know.
I'm like, who does that? What do you
People,
mean?
I mean, that's what street. I mean, when you go out to eat in street food anywhere around the world, I mean, how sanitary is it anyway? You know, the stock.
You don't.
Correct.
That's why you don't.
But the sign is telling you literally,
yeah,
don't
you
eat here?
don't eat here.
It's basically confirming.
Yeah, like
It's like
do not-
A is awesome, B means better, right? And
C is crap.
yeah.
See,
He
like,
means, yeah, walk
can't
away.
eat
Yeah.
here.
Can't do it.
Yeah, D is don't do it.
No, but like I eat at the bagel and coffee places in the city, like the street corner vendors.
Yeah,
stuff.
me
I
too.
Oh
do that.
yeah,
Oh,
those
yeah.
are those
You
are
know,
the
those
best.
don't-
That was when I was broke as a joke. That was my lifeline there.
$1 coffee.
Yeah. Coffee.
and
Coffee's
a dollar
the best.
pastry.
Yeah.
So it
Mhm.
was like $2.
Yeah.
Then it went to 25.
Yeah, back when I
Yeah.
was working at the chickens factory, there used to be one of those trucks that would drive like from business to business, and they'll park outside in your parking lot. And then we all go out there, or like me and the workers will all go out there and eat. And for $5, they'll give you a piece of bread, any roll. Actually, it's like a roll, and they're like, all right, you can stuff whatever you want to stuff in this bread, and it's $5. I was like, yo, and like, dude, people just like load it all up like this.
What type
for
of
$5.
food do they have to stuff in it?
It's breakfast stuff. So like
Oh, so like
bacon,
eggs or-
sausages,
Oh, that's
whatever
pretty
it is.
good.
$5, all you can put in there.
Oh man.
That was amazing. The guy made a killing. I mean, how much are eggs and bacon and all that stuff anyway? For $5, do you think you can put $5 worth of meat in there? I don't know how much. I don't know. How
No
much
one's
it
putting
costs.
a pack of bacon into there.
Yeah.
A bread is like a quarter. A roll is like a quarter.
So I mean, the guy was making bank.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
so
I'm
the
getting
next time
hungry.
everyone's gonna get egg sandwiches.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I should find this guy. I find a guy, have him park his little truck outside. $5, all you can eat. Whatever you can stuff into this bread is what you're gonna eat. It's
Oh,
on
we
Ben.
should definitely get a food vendor sponsor. Ooh.
Yeah, I was thinking like
Ooh.
champagne.
It's
those
not that
ones.
expensive.
Yeah.
Because we did it for our vow renewal.
There's
and-
a champagne, like those champagne carts. little
the
things?
ones that have the little.
Yeah.
They,
And
they
something with
started following-
snacks.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
local
the
vendors.
Pizza brick.
You know,
Should
I-
have alpaca come by, you know.
an alpaca. We're not that fancy yet. We're not that fancy yet.
No.
You know, the catering was
We'll
a
just have
bill
our
that
3 dogs.
you know, originally when we planned this thing, we were going to originally we were going to do everything ourselves, like going to Dunkin' Donuts, get like a couple of
yeah, pick up coffee.
big boxes
at
of coffee.
Joe.
I was like, oh my God, what a pain in the ass.
Too much work. Some things you just have to outsource and let them
Yeah,
handle,
that
so you don't have
sounds
to
like
worry
it.
It's
about it.
convenient. They
We're
set
like,
it
we should
up.
buy
They-
water, and like we're like,
Yeah.
I mean, with the amount of running around that I had to do that day,
Yeah.
there's
Yep.
no way I would have
No
been
way,
able
no
to supervise
way.
the coffee and the drinks and all
Yep.
that stuff. Just let other people.
Yep.
See,
Yeah.
we can.
It's a
maybe
good
we can talk
business
about it
lesson
today.
for another episode or later.
Yeah, about
Outsourcing.
outsourcing
Yep,
and delegating.
outsourcing, delegating.
Yeah,
Mhm.
You can also buy like a couple dozen bagels. That's not that expensive either. Tubs
Like
of,
trays of them.
of
yep,
cream
yep,
cheese
Yep.
and let
yep.
everyone just serve.
Well, then you have to
themselves.
set it up, and then you have to clean
No,
up.
you know, it comes.
No, but then you
In
have
a
to clean
tray.
up. We don't have to do that. The caterer dropped everything off,
They picked
took
it up.
everything, left. We didn't do a
Like
thing.
that department wouldn't have to worry about it. Like,
Yeah.
are we running out? Like, do we need refill?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, yep.
Yes, I guess today we're going to talk about the summit, right?
Yes.
So you guys ready to get this podcast started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Focus AF podcast. My name is Ben,
This is Karis.
This is Jen.
And this is Ro.
and we are Focused AF. This week, we definitely are Focused AF.
Yeah. Definitely way
sort
focused
of.
after last week.
After the Focus AF summit.
Yeah.
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 Motivated, encouraged, focused, excited, all the feels.
How did
All
you
the
guys?
feels.
How did
Yep.
you guys think that it went? We'll go around the table.
I think it went really well. I was like, Ben Lau pulled it off.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Well, what
Drove
about-
us crazy
We
for
all doubted
11
it.
months.
I think I told everyone crazy
Son of
for
a
a year.
bitch did it.
We didn't think he was gonna do it,
We were
but
wishing
somehow
you
he
would
pulled it off.
When December came, I was like, I guess this is happening. He's not turning back.
Yeah. But
No.
yeah, you did a great job on the stage. We
Thank
were so
you.
proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Were
a lot
you-
of people.
Were you upset about your time slot? Were you okay with your time slot?
No, I loved it because I wasn't first and I wasn't in the middle or the end. So I had to sit there and like wait for my turn or freak out. So
Yeah.
Tori did amazing. She did her thing, great energy, and then brought me on. And then it kept everyone awake, I
Yeah.
feel like, for the
Good,
morning,
good.
which was
Sure.
good. So
Yeah.
second slot is perfect.
Well, you might be the first slot next year.
Oh, shit.
Because we're starting later.
Or last.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that you had me up there at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, next year I think we're starting at 9. Yeah, I think that's late enough.
That's good.
Too later. Yeah, but you can't because we
You
have
got a lot of things you gotta get
stuff
through.
going on.
Listen,
Yeah.
you're a
And
business
we're
owner.
giving
You can get there
longer,
at 9.
and we're giving
Yeah.
longer time slot for each.
So you don't have to rush through it. So if you want to put more videos up there,
You know what? Like, not a lot of people left towards the end.
No.
There was a handful of people that had to go.
Yeah,
They had
yep.
pick up their kids or whatever. but
Yeah.
there was still most of the people were
Handful.
still there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
they all
Yeah.
stayed.
what did
Yep.
you think, bro? As a spectator, I guess.
I loved it. It felt very personal. I feel like a lot of times because it's a first time summit, people have their
Expectations.
like they don't know what to expect because it's a first time summit, right? So I feel like after this, everyone posting their experience, everyone sharing their Instagram stories. I feel like it's built credibility.
Proof of concept.
Yeah, where people are like, I feel like some people have FOMO.
Yeah.
That some local folks had FOMO
Yep.
because they didn't show up or they didn't attend, and now they're looking at it like, oh wow, next year I'll definitely go.
Yeah.
So I feel like it might be double the size next year because of that. Because now it's established, they know that it was worth it. They know the speakers had something to give back.
Definitely.
A lot of one of the things that we kept hearing as you were planning this was that, oh, I don't really know the speakers, and I would tell people, well, that doesn't mean you can't learn anything. Like if you look at their work, if you look at their business, they're all established. Like they're not just like some random person that just trying to break into education. So I feel like now that people have seen it, it's proven. It has its own reputation, you
Right.
know, and going
Yep.
forward. So I feel like you have to capitalize on that. Learn from all the little things that we all felt could be improved, which is like small minor things. One of the things like was
Wi-Fi.
people. Well, I didn't really care about the Wi. I didn't even have time to look at my phone
Yeah.
because I was actually
Right.
in
you
there
were,
Uh-huh.
listening.
Mhm.
But there was other people that were trying to run their business
Yep.
while they're attending, a 12-hour conference. So I get it.
Mhm.
But like the minor things is like we'll figure that out. And
It was
Yeah.
nice to be disconnected, I
Yeah.
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sam.
Well, you're not
Sam said the
distracted.
same
Sam
thing.
loved
Sam
it,
Hurd
yeah.
said, "This is great." Like, we're like just here to ourselves.
That
Mhm.
was a last minute 24-hour scare. I was like, oh shit, what if we have no internet because everyone's presentations are on the
Right,
cloud?
yeah.
So within 24 hours, I was like scrambling. I was like, y'all need to give me like an offline copy of your presentations.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I got everyone's presentations already. I was like, oh shit, what if there's no internet?
Yep.
I was like, if the internet
And it was
talks
what
out.
Fernando brought up too.
Yeah.
And I was
You
like,
weren't
the
even
summit's.
here.
I was like, the summit's over.
Yeah.
We got no internet. The summit's over, right?
Yeah.
Thank God there was one hard wire,
Landline, Yep.
like basically one hard line for the computer, and that was it.
What I was told, the Wi-Fi would come and go. So like,
Yeah.
everyone would step outside and do
Yeah.
what
But
they
they
got to
assured
do.
me this is a one-time problem. It's not gonna happen again. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about it later.
Better
Yeah.
not. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mhm.
What about you?
What I think heard, and I think we gave people something bigger and better than what I think everyone was expecting to
100%.
have. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the venue space.
It's
To
that wow
like,
factor when you walk in.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
people were
to
impressed.
yeah, because a lot of people were asking me like, is there going to be parking? Like, where do you park? I'm like, oh yeah,
There's
there's
plenty.
There's so much
there's
parking.
Some people were like, I parked in the middle, I parked on the other side,
Yeah,
and I had to walk. I'm like, but you found parking, right?
Yeah. You can park anywhere. Yeah. And then a lot of people, gave me feedback like they were actually able to like apply what they learned from the speakers. They're like, yeah, I'm actually applying it. Even what Jen said, like social media, I'm rolling that out. I've heard a lot from a lot of people. It was Jen, Tori, Nikisha. A lot of people got inspired by their talks. But I think your talk was kind of more targeted towards more of a bigger business, running the associate program. I guess people that came for that to find that out.
When I envisioned this, I wanted to have something to offer to someone who's just new in the business, and someone also folks who are more established.
And then not just get like all inspired and like get, wow, I'm gonna walk out and do stuff here. But you know what I mean? Get inspired, but also we're gonna teach you how to do it and apply it after in your business.
Yeah, this is like giving people
good. Yep.
an instruction manual that they can leave with. I think that was the most
Yeah, that's
powerful
crucial,
thing.
I think, because we go to workshops and summits and you see this, amazing art, amazing work, but how am I going to do it? How am I going to apply it to my business? I see you're making all this money, but how am I going to do it in my business?
So-called making this.
Right.
A lot of times they're not, but yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not about making $1 billion.
Right.
It's about making an honest living as well. But at the same time, just knowing what you have to do to achieve what you want in your business and your life. Because there are some people that make $80,000 a year and they're plenty happy. You know what I mean? Because maybe it's their side money, their side hustle, whatever it is.
Not small money.
Or even 80,000 is not. I mean, that's not small money either. But let's say even if they're making $50,000 a year as a side hustle, I mean, they're happy with that too.
Yeah.
I
think what people appreciated was that the topics were so broad and not. You can tell it was somewhat geared to photographers, but they were able to take the concept and apply it to if they were a videographer or stationer or whatever. And they loved learning from different kind of disciplines. And I think that was a lot of the goal that we had was like not, and even with this podcast, is not to always be so photography heavy, and it's more business related and things you can apply back home to yourself.
Some videographers who attended and some planners who attended. Like, I got
quite a bit of video.
I got a lot of. I was like, we got a lot of great info that I can apply in my business. I know it was a lot of photographers in there in that room, but there's a lot of concepts that are universal. And I've said this from day one. I mean, like I've been in sales my entire life for the most part. I've sold 1 billion different things in my life, and the way that you sell things to people, it's the same thing. You're solving problems for people. That's all.
And it was interesting to see, like, I feel like our local Facebook groups haven't really had their meetups or anything as they used to have.
Not for a while.
What I walked away from on Thursday was that it seemed like everybody was hungry to like hang out to each other, network with each other, just talk. That's why they stayed like 12, 13 hours after like starting at 7:30. We didn't leave till about 9:30 at night. So like and people stayed even longer than that, just hanging out.
We left. People were still
there, connecting with each other.
That's another thing that I wanted to talk about is like the networking.
Yes,
because like since it's local, a lot of people like I would say I probably knew like half the people there on a personal level. But if you notice, like everyone was hanging out with each other. Like I've gone to conferences where nobody you listen to the talk, you get up and you go to the next room. Like every time there was a break, people would just go to the hallway and just mingle, talk, and I feel like what Jen said in our area, like we used to have meetups a lot in our Facebook group, and it was very crucial to us, like meeting some of our closest friends and growing our business. And that hasn't happened in a long time. Like I feel like the core people that were coming up when we were coming up, once everyone got so busy, they just were not active. Yeah, they're not active
But
anymore.
the next generation of entrepreneurs, they need something.
right.
I think,
and
I'm more than happy to provide that.
We were definitely lacking a hangout, where creatives could just mingle and talk. We did great, I think,
Mm-hmm.
all of us. But we should never forget where we started and what really wanted to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be warm environment, like we said. Everyone
Mhm.
kind of mingling, talking to each other, saying hello. No one leaving the summit ever, feeling like, oh my God, like I was not welcome at this
Mhm.
place.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody better say that.
Right, right. And then for hopefully future Focus F Summit, we'll have a little bit more time for like mingling, hanging out, and
Mhm.
talking
Yeah.
in between.
I feel that's going to be even
Yep.
more beneficial
Yep.
as well as the learning. At what point did you guys feel like, all right, this is something like huge that's happening here? Like,
Was the room filled up?
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
for me, it was like I think after your talk,
Mhm.
there was like a gap. It might have been after your talk or after Nikisha's talk.
Uh-huh.
The asset team came over and we were all chatting,
Uh-huh.
and people were asking Karis already about doing it next year,
Mhm.
and we weren't even like halfway into the day,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so people were already like seeing the value in this,
Yeah.
and they wanted to be a part of it even in the future, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
I knew that going into this thing, building this thing, that it wasn't going to be perfect on the first try.
Mhm.
You know,
It was damn near close, I would say.
a lot of thought went into planning this thing. We wanted to make sure that we had a great experience for everyone. We wanted to make sure that nobody left empty-handed. We wanted to make sure that uh, I think we mentioned this in a previous episode. This could have been their last couple $100.
Money.
Mhm.
And they're trying desperately to do something in their business, to grow their business, and they could have very, very well emptied out their bank account to spend their money to come to this summit.
Mhm.
You got to make sure that you give them their money's worth. I think that we did well and above and beyond because of the incredible speakers and
Mhm.
incredible topics that we covered,
Everyone. Yep.
and not only that, the networking component, the community component. Sam talked about this on his episode. Like that's probably the primary reason why many people go to these conferences and
Mhm.
workshops. It's really the networking component that's the most valuable and most powerful. We try to psych ourselves out and say that it's more for an educational thing. So we go there to learn too. But really, the most powerful thing that you can get out of these conferences and workshops is meeting people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Opens doors for you.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
Definitely.
in that way, we did succeed, I think. But of course, there are a million ways that we can do things better. Like you mentioned earlier, we had some Wi-Fi issues. The room did get a little cold
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
middle of the day.
Very, very cool.
I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there was a Karen that went to talk to like
It was a couple of people probably.
maintenance, and it's
I
like,
don't
"Hey,
know.
it's so hot in here. Can someone cool it down a little
No,
bit?"
it was
I don't know.
cold
It
from
was
the
freezing.
beginning, and then when the coordinator spoke to the people, I guess controlling the AC heating, whatever, said they actually had AC like pumping into the room. I'm like,
Oh my
Why would they have
God.
AC pumping into the
yeah,
room?
so they actually had to cut that and like start the heat. I'm like, and then it
That's
got
so
a little
lucky.
warm in between, and then it got cold,
Cold
again.
again,
So
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
But I learned a whole lot in this process.
Yeah.
This is my first one. We've attended so many workshops and conferences, and the thing is, when people see these conferences, workshops, like, I can do it. That was my thinking too. I was like, man, I could do that, right? I mean, I did, but the thing was, it was not easy.
It was not, you guys.
It was not as simple as I thought it was going to be. There was a lot of like juggling people's needs, the attendees'
Mhm.
needs,
and
selling and
this
marketing.
is not our only job. Right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So you're not like a trade show or whatever event specialist that only does
Mhm.
Yeah,
this.
and I'm definitely
Yeah.
not swimming in
No.
buku bucks. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I think-
I'm wearing these black jeans that I just got from Target.
Steakhouse pants.
Yeah. I
These
think we would be
luxury
remiss to talk about this because I think that's really important because sometimes you hear things behind the scenes what people think that the whole idea of this was just to make hundreds of thousands of dollars or Ben was going to walk out of this with so much money,
Yep.
but they don't ever understand the concept of actually running a conference and what's entailed. And you're lucky if you break even and that you're lucky you're not in the negative.
Mhm.
And I think the bigger intent was to build the community, to build the
The
education
love for it.
Yeah.
and the love
Yeah.
for it, the
Yep.
community. Basically, that one day created a new focus day of community,
Yep.
which is
Right.
amazing.
Mhm.
I love that.
They are not, it's just like, it's not a big money making thing. So if people have this thing, this concept of like,
Right,
that's
right.
all it is.
Yep.
purpose.
And if that is your purpose going into it, then you
Nope.
will not succeed.
Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't go into this thinking that I was gonna make $1 billion out of
Yeah.
this. As long as I was in the black, I was good. So
Right.
and for all intents and purposes, we broke even. We may have gone a little bit better than break even, but barely. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you got the space rental, you've got you got to take care of some of the speakers, you got to feed people, you've got just a lot of setup fees and labor and advertising, all that stuff, right? And that's just the financial part of it. We're not even talking about the time expenditure that I spent trying to promote this thing. Giving out free workshops and giving out free, this and
the
that.
website you had to build as
Yeah.
well.
Facebook ads you spent money
all
on.
that stuff,
all the time.
and going out there trying to find sponsors, going out there trying to find speakers, right? And like making sure everything works on the back end with the IT stuff. It's not just the financial capital; it's the human capital. It's all the labor and all that stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't realize. And really, I mean,
you would think they would realize having like running their own business. So to be, can I vent for a little bit?
Okay. This is your platform.
I think what frustrated us a lot the most too were peers of ours that were just trying to get things for free and trying to, still even after trying to get things for free, we're not realizing like what time was spent, what money was spent on this. And it was a little disappointing to not have that support back from people that we thought would have to give us the support. And you kind of get an idea of like, okay, you wouldn't run your own business like this. Why are you kind of expecting Ben or us to kind of do that for you? Like, you should go out, show the support, invest in your peers, invest in your community, and kind of acknowledge that that's what you're going to get in return. So that's something I think was another big lesson that we learned through the process.
Yeah, I never asked anyone to participate in this summit because I felt like they owed me anything.
Right.
Nobody owes me anything when I do stuff for them or whatever it is. When I help them out in their business, I do it because I want to, not because I'm expecting them to scratch my back because I scratch theirs. But at the same time, I can't pour from an empty cup. I've given everything that I could give already. And I think what was disappointment is such a strong word, but in some ways I was a little disappointed, because I've given so much already and I couldn't give any more. And people are asking for more. And I was put on a spot where I didn't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
I never want to feel like resentment.
Yeah.
Because you don't want that burden on your shoulders, carrying that chip on your shoulders.
Right. Yeah. No need for that.
I don't want to feel resentment towards people, but at the same time, I would be lying if I didn't say I was a little disappointed that folks saw me basically groveling on my knees for a whole year, trying to get people to participate in this thing, and just getting the door slammed in my face. Every which way. Sort of like when I first started this business as a photographer, right? I'm just like, hey, please let me photograph you for free. I'll do it for free.
The only difference is that these are people you actually know this time.
Right.
Well, even when I started my photography business, I was asking people that I knew too, friends and family. I would beg, please let me photograph your family for free. I'm trying to start this photography business. Please let me photograph you for free. And I would still get the door slammed in my face. These are supposedly my friends. You know what I mean? And then finally, when I finally have it established, my photography business, and I quote them, they're like, "Oh, I'm not paying you that," right? So like, okay, I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
You got to take your lumps when you get them. But there were some moments where I was a little disappointed, but I can't control how other people behave and how they conduct themselves.
That's very little minor parts of this whole.
Yeah, I think the positives outweigh the negatives by a significantly large margin.
Yeah, I think what we all gained from it was, and I think it was definitely encouraging for me and for us, for the focus I have. People are like, oh, it's not no longer just this little podcast or this little summit. There's like people are actually enjoying it, and people that I didn't even know were listening to the episodes that came out to us. I'm like, oh, I listened to you guys. I'm like, oh.
A lot of people, and I made a lot of promises to people about bringing them on the podcast.
No, you didn't.
You had a few beers.
No, I didn't make any promises there.
Oh.
It was during
the summit.
Yeah, aren't you glad we share a similar branding?
Chit chatting.
Aren't you glad we share like sort of like yeah?
I had a lot of people that I didn't know. Well, not a lot of people, but some people that I didn't know. They knew my name from the podcast. So
you're the funny one, apparently. That's the name of the street. I'm a little offended.
Yeah. That's what I was told. I was all right, good. My personality started to come out a little bit.
Yeah.
You're the funny one. Sure, okay.
Next year he'll be on stage, guys.
But what I did get to learn is like that it's not just photographers that are listening, it's other people in the industry, which is cool. I promised someone, I didn't promise, but I told him that we'll have him on
Oh yeah.
at some point in the future because we want to hear from other business owners and how we could help and grow together as an industry.
Listen, business is business, community is community.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're doing the same thing or different things. We can all learn from one another. That's
Mhm.
that's the whole purpose of the summit. We can
Mhm.
learn from one another, even when it doesn't seem very apparent.
Yeah.
I think when you're so close minded like that can actually be a trap, and that's how people get stuck.
Mhm.
That's my little soapbox.
So what are we looking to improve on for next year?
We'll get better Wi-Fi next year.
And any
Um,
heat?
I already have a list of things that we're going to improve. The first thing is we're not going to try to cram everything into one day.
Mhm.
I think for this first
I
one,
think everyone already asking multi-day. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think originally I was going to do multi-day, but I didn't think that I had enough attention or I had enough interest.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, this is my first time conference. Who the hell is going to come out for 2 days?
Mhm.
So I was like, you know what? I think people can commit to one day, right? But the thing is, I didn't want to just have a conference for one day with 5 speakers or 6 speakers.
Mhm.
Although 6 speakers is probably more reasonable as far as time goes.
Time, yeah.
But I don't know if people would spend $300, $500 to listen to 6 speakers.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Even if you had more breaks and networking function afterwards. So I wanted to fill as much time. I wanted to provide as much value as possible in that one day. And that's why we started as early as we did. And
Mhm.
that's why we wrapped up as late as we did. Okay.
Mhm.
It's not my preference per se, because, folks didn't get any breaks to go to the bathroom. That's what I heard. No one could go to the bathroom. Just have to pee in the corner. You know what I mean? We don't want you guys to
I
pee in
heard
the
the
corner.
opposite. They like those little 6-minute breaks in
Yeah, in
between because
between.
they can go and then come back, and then they would be like,
It
sometimes you
wasn't
go
meant to be a 5-minute break. It was meant to go back to back to
Oh,
back.
well, it worked out. They love those 5 to 10-minute
We
breaks.
needed it for technical.
Yeah, and
We-
they said that sometimes they go to conferences where there is literally no break, and then
Back
they
to
would,
back to back.
yeah. So
Yep.
they like the little.
It was
Yeah.
by
Intervals.
design. It was meant to be going back to back to back to back to back to back. But it's just because we had technical difficulties, everyone got an extra 5 minutes.
Yeah.
There
Which
was,
is fine.
there was,
That was good.
another thing too, like the first 3 or 4 speakers, no one was getting up to go talk to the sponsors in the back.
Yeah.
And that's because they were so engaged with
Yeah.
speakers. So
Yep.
if there would have been a little bit more time. People would have got up
So
and
Yep.
wandered
so
there.
the next time what we're gonna do is the length of the presentations will be longer because a lot of the speakers provided me with feedback saying, listen, 45 minutes, an hour is a little tight. So can we make this a little longer? I
Mhm.
think that was pretty much unanimous. Like everyone had more to share.
I was,
there was
perfectly fine with 45, 50. Actually, well, then until you tried to cut me off, and then I realized I was going over, and I was like, "Oh crap!"
Q&A.
Yeah, Q&A.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
the
had a
Q&A.
lot of Q&A.
Yeah.
So maybe you might have more Q&A next time.
Yeah. Because
makes sense.
other speakers did not really get Q&A time. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
that's
get
what it
Q&A
was,
time. Well, I got Q&A time during the networking
Networking,
Right,
yeah.
thing.
right.
So some
Yep.
people actually came up to me and asked me about.
Yeah, because we had to go
Associate
right
brand.
after yours. We
Yeah.
were on a time crunch
We're
so
done.
bad.
We were getting kicked out.
We were
man.
getting kicked out.
Yeah. So that's the first one, right? Less presentations per day. So I think next time what we're going to do is maybe have like 2 or 3 presentations in the morning, and then 2 to 3 presentations in the afternoon. I think that's more reasonable with longer breaks, and I think and that way it will give us a later start and an earlier end.
Yeah.
And that way it'll give us more time to socialize, like eat dinner and socialize. Because now you got to go drink on an empty stomach. You know what I mean?
That was.
Yeah,
We were you were like ready to go. You're like, let's go eat.
Yeah.
Comida.
Well, but everyone's still here.
I know.
Some
I was
I'm enjoying
starving.
myself.
I was starving though.
some after events would be nice too, like on both days and maybe
So that's the plan too.
pre-event.
So
Yeah.
both days, actually 3 days, we'll do like a welcome party, and then we'll do a first night party and a second night party.
Mhm.
Okay. And then actually those can be sponsored by the sponsors. And then multiple days, at least 2 days next time,
Mhm.
at least 2 days, because that'll give us enough time for anywhere between 10 to 12 speakers, which I think is good. And then we'll have a breakout session. Let's say you really, really enjoy Jen's talk, or you really, you want to really get a more in-depth type of presentation from Jenn, for instance. Maybe an hour and a half is not enough. Maybe you want to spend 4 hours with her.
Mhm.
You got 4 hours of content to teach. And then that's what a breakout session would be for. So sort of like how you have photo walks at WPPI.
Yeah, or they're what are they called? The first days, they have their own little summits the first couple of days,
Yeah.
or
So-
specific to a specific topic
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something.
So that way you don't feel like you got the Cliff Notes version during the lecture days.
Mhm.
You get like the full in-depth deep dive with
Yep.
whatever topic you want to cover. And I think people will enjoy that.
Mhm.
And it's even smaller class sizes, a little bit more intimate, a little bit more interaction with the speakers. I think that'll be very valuable.
Yeah.
And then also next year, what I noticed from this year's presentation was that once Ken Peck and Sam Hurd went on and they showed off their incredible images, everyone was just
Wow.
engrossed with, because they covered a little bit of the business stuff, but they really covered a lot of the creative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that because we're photographers, we are creatives, we're drawn to that creative stuff. The business stuff is kind of, it's boring to us. We know we have to do it, sort of like our chores. We have to do it. We don't particularly enjoy it, but we have to do it, right? So having a little bit of a
Creative
break,
side. Yep.
having
Yeah.
a little bit of the creative side,
Yep.
I think was a nice break from all the business talk that we had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we'll
all day.
do like maybe morning.
Or 1 or 2 creative talks per day.
business and creative talk. Yep. Throw it
Yeah.
in there.
And if they have a breakout session, like a photo walk, I think Bellworks is an amazing space for photo
Mhm.
walks. So
Have you talked to them to see if they would allow, like, you walking around? And
it's a matter of paying for a permit. That's all it is.
Because upstairs is open to public, so I
well,
can't.
just the
imagine.
lobby. But that's all you need. The lobby and outside.
Yeah, lobby and
like-
outside.
You can,
is all
dude,
need,
even if
yeah.
you shoot downstairs, so many things you can do
the
downstairs.
offices, they said nope.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember when we visited
Yeah,
the
yeah,
place,
yeah.
they told us off
We're like,
limits.
oh,
But I mean, like,
it's plenty.
yeah, like the front of the place, like you have all that glass outside. Like
Yep.
you could do
there's
some cool stuff.
stairs,
It'll
yep,
be cold though.
there's-
That's the only
yeah,
thing. Going outside, it's gonna be so
whatever.
cold.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do 2 Focus Ave summits a year.
No, I mean you don't have to go outside. You could
Yeah,
even stay
indoor,
like
yeah,
yeah.
indoor.
Yeah,
But
so
I
much
bet-
good natural
Yeah.
light
But I
inside.
bet you people go outside.
Yeah,
for a
Yeah.
step
walk.
out real fast, come back in. Like, yeah.
Yeah, people will suffer for
But
their art.
whatever
have
they
their
want to do
coats.
with your
Yeah.
own.
I know that you guys were grilling me. It's like, Ben, it can't just be all business. You got to have some fun stuff in there too.
Yeah.
Throw some creative stuff in there. And I know I resisted, but I'm listening. Yeah.
It's motivational. It's part of everything. I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you like when you cram just business, like right. I don't want to say it starts to water down everything, but your mind starts to check out from just soaking all these things in,
Mhm.
and like when you get a little eye candy, you're just like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they saw some eye. Everyone's
Yeah.
eyes just got like
yeah, it's
the
a
size
nice.
of
All
the
the
moon.
Ken's photos, they're like, wow.
Because
Like,
Ken does some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like the shower, he was like underneath the bride's dress for the
Yeah.
garter removal. Like
that's like
That's
so
incredible.
Ken. I was just having conversation with him. I was like, we should, because Ken's only, a few states away, and we should he shoots at similar venues that we shoot at, like hotels, like mansions or whatever, wedding venues. And I'm like, we don't get that. We don't get that kind of shots, At church, we don't get what he gets. Like, that's Ken.
That's what makes him special, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
yep.
we'll definitely get some award-winning photographers to show off their portfolio.
Yeah, some
maybe inspire
visual,
a
some
little bit, some
creative.
visual candy, like you said.
Yeah.
Um,
Some lighting. People are always interested about lighting.
Anything technical,
Yeah,
and as
technical.
long as
I just
as the
don't-
people
yeah.
have the credibility or the work,
Yep.
like you don't have to be known, but if you have
Yeah.
the work,
Yep.
people are
I
going to
just
be all
don't want
over
it to
it.
turn it into another workshop
Workshop.
that you can find
Of
anywhere
course
else.
not.
Yeah,
Because
no,
there's-
but-
I still want to keep it business focused as much as I can because
Well,
there's
yeah.
nothing like that
Well,
exists.
Yeah.
Ken's talk, he tied it at the end of how it affected his business, like all those awards that he's won,
Right.
on how he's leveraged that to book more weddings. So, of course, it was the eye candy, but he's also saying like, don't just think that you don't that you can't chase awards and not get anything out of
Right.
it. This is how I leveraged it. It works for me, and it's also feeding my creativity because I'm still creating these award-winning images, which I thought was great. I was all right, cool. It was
Yeah.
good to soak that in, and for me, as you guys know, Jen handles all the business, so to me, the business, like, yeah, it's eye-opening for me, but at the end of the day, I can't implement those things. It's what Jen's gonna implement.
Right.
So whenever I see the creative stuff, I'm like, all right, these are things that I'm gonna go back and get inspired and
Yeah.
implement.
Yep.
So as far as some more changes, so we'll have multiple days, breakout sessions, longer lectures, but less of them during the day. More
And
breaks.
more breaks, socialize, hang out with
Just
sponsors.
hang out with the sponsors. I
Yep,
wanted to
talk
make
to
sure
the
the sponsors got some love in.
sponsors. Yep.
And maybe even give the sponsors some more stage time too, because some of the sponsors just gave out some kick-ass presentations.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I would love
Oh
to
yeah.
hear
Asset was great. Michaela
Shout
was
out to
great.
Michaela.
Shout out to her.
And her drink tickets.
Yes. I know she like spread through her like 15, 20 minutes, but it was a
Yes.
great 15
She
minutes.
captivated the whole.
It was-
Yes.
It was aggressive, which I like because
Yes,
it was
you needed
like
it, yes.
People coming back
a
from
lot of
lunch.
people in the room needed
Yes.
that slap in the face.
Yes.
I was like, "What are you doing with your
Wake up,
images?
yep.
Just handing them over via gallery?"
Mike Z
like,
had me cracking up. He was like, yes, yes, every time.
He was like,
I
at the
agree.
he was
He was like,
preaching.
"Preach."
Yeah, he was like, yes. Yeah, me cracking up.
I think the other thing that I will change up for next year as well, I think that for this round, we didn't know how to price this thing. Right. And I think
Yeah,
that I
fair.
needed to make sure that I was in the black and I could afford this. And that's why we priced it the way that we did. But I think by doing so, we made it a little bit harder to access for some folks
Mhm.
who would have loved to come, but they couldn't afford to come. So I think next year, now that we have proof of concept, people know that we can produce a good show. People will see value in this. Combined with the fact that I'm not going to charge as much next year for the tickets, my hope is that we'll get a better turnout next year and we can serve more people. We can help more people in our industry. Briefly, I mean, that's what we're going to be doing for next year. But I'll be sending out a survey to everyone. By the time that you guys listen to this episode, by the time this episode airs, that survey would have gone out already. But we always want to
Feedback.
get feedback and
Lots
stuff.
of
I mean,
honest.
maybe in the future, probably shifting it to like a summer date or something too. Summer seems to be like a time
While
that
people
a
on
lot of
vacation
us.
and stuff.
No, it doesn't have to be August. It could be like July, late June.
Well, that's
I
why
don't know.
we're talking about like a summer
Summer
networking
retreat,
thing.
like
Yeah.
a summer get together, like a happy hour or something like that.
Yeah.
I think winter's the best time because they just got their holiday money. They're looking for ways to start their new year. Because a lot of people make their resolutions around
It's
the
a
new year.
refresh. It's a
Yeah,
refresh.
it's a nice
Yeah.
refresh, and then get a fresh start in the year.
But a little bit later in the month, or not like first week of January. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll probably do it.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what the dates
Timing-wise,
coincide
we
with,
just have
like
to coordinate, like,
imaging.
We just have to
Imaging, yep.
coordinate.
And the-
We have
yeah.
to
It'll probably
coordinate with
be
the
like
other
right before
conferences.
imaging or after imaging. Yep, I
Mhm.
think that's.
We just have to
and
find out.
before WPPI. Yep. But like New York, Jersey people, like I don't know how many people go to imaging. Like
WPPI, they
at
don't.
They- not a
It's
lot.
started to
just
grow.
Yeah.
It's starting to grow a little bit, but
Yeah.
that's
But-
why I think a lot of people really enjoyed this because it was local.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, a lot of people, can't afford to go because kids.
It is after the
babysitter,
holidays.
right?
commitment.
Days, a lot of days
Mhm.
away from home. Yep. So I think, and like to think, like New York, New Jersey, we have so many wedding venues. We have so many wedding creatives in our area, and to think we had nothing like this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's. I think.
We got to give ourselves a high five.
High five!
Yay.
High five.
We got to give ourselves
High
yeah,
five.
What,
high
a slow
five.
clap?
We pulled
yeah.
it off.
I think we may have something, guys.
Yes, we
I think we're onto
do.
something. Yeah.
It's
No,
exciting.
it was
I'm just
nice.
staying positive about the whole thing. Like,
Maybe Rolando could be offer some
You should do a photo walk
comic
next year.
on,
babe.
on stage.
You gonna go on stage?
Improv.
This is how you make a gift.
I'll be here all night, folks.
It's a 5-minute presentation. This is how you make a gift, guys. Broop, 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 broop. All right.
You should do your photo walk next year.
Yeah.
Photo
You
walk
have
would
a
be,
lot to offer. Yep.
Yeah, a photo walk is more.
Yeah.
I've attended photo walks and I've always thought I could do this.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
probably give back.
Yeah,
more.
I don't think we're gonna offer photo walks or breakout sessions just for speakers. We're talking, so
Yeah.
Oh, are we? I don't know.
Yeah, no, we're not. We
Oh,
said
okay. Photo
yeah.
walks for anyone who wants to do a photo walk.
Like because photo walks could happen like throughout the whole day. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So-
But we just don't want to have a photo walk happen while there's lectures.
Right.
Yeah,
I want to
that's
get the
true.
speakers.
Yeah.
That's true.
But
'Cause then
photo
everybody be in
walk's
the
gonna
photo
be
walk.
day before, you said. Anyway,
Yeah,
right?
the week before, so maybe 2 days before. It's reserved for breakout sessions, whoever wants one.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be on a.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I gotta think about the summer thing too. But
That's
what-
just a get together. Here's
Yeah.
the date. We're
right,
just gonna
but
hang
I'm
out for
saying
drinks.
like
Where?
where can
When?
we go? Maybe
Bell-
a
Bell works,
brewery
too.
would be cool.
Oh well, I was thinking Bellworks to admire all that stuff. Drinks are
Mhm.
good there.
Yeah.
People might get tired
but
of
they
it.
don't have too many food options. Yeah,
No,
go,
we're-
go
no,
somewhere.
We're
Go
there to
somewhere.
drink.
Go somewhere else.
Do an escape room.
No.
You have like 50 people
got-
show up
yeah,
to an
50
escape
people
room.
show up. You got 5 rooms, right? 5 rooms. First one out.
Rent
Those
out the
10.
whole area.
You're the first one to come out of the room gets free tickets.
That is an amazing idea, but I think just us and Moses would really love that.
It's expensive.
Speaking of, I gotta look for an escape room in Louisville.
There's a couple locals that are gonna be there that we know.
Mhm.
Bobby
Ben,
Sheridan's out there.
Ben Davis and Sharon will be there.
Oh, yeah.
I thought
Joshua
you meant like
Dwayne.
Louisville locals.
Yeah.
Joshua Dwayne is speaking too.
It might be some good
Candidates.
Yeah.
time to
Meet everyone. Yep.
Yeah.
Some good
Connect with
candidates for next
everybody.
year's speakers.
Offer.
Yep.
Lindsay Adler.
Next year's
You have
Lindsay,
to
if
wait
you're
in line to
listening.
talk to her.
Lindsay, if you're
Oh my
listening.
God, the line at the Build Expo to talk to Lindsay
we should
Adler.
have kept in touch with Lindsay.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We walked by, and this is after her talk. The fucking line
Yeah.
like wrapped around the floor, right? And then me and Jen, we went to a class that was like 45
An hour, 45 minutes
minutes,
to an hour, yeah.
right? came
Still there.
back. There's still people
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. I
talking,
bet.
waiting to talk to
I
her.
bet.
And she waited. She spoke to every single
She's
person.
amazing. Yep.
Yeah,
she's
we met her
amazing.
like 10 years ago. I don't know if she remembers that. So Lindsay, if you're listening, like give us a shout out or something.
We went to your
Yeah.
studio
We
party.
went to your studio party. We took your class at WPPI. You know,
I took in multiple classes.
I saw you at Unique Photo.
Yeah, she's great.
Ivy Joy is our mutual friend.
She's great.
You guys are gonna pull the whole list when you meet her. Look, this is how
Hey,
you know
listen,
us.
we've met you before, Lindsay.
I mean, she has sponsors too, so it might be
Canon.
You know,
She's a Canon.
she has other sponsors
Sure,
too.
yep,
So
she has probably all the
maybe-
gears.
This part is getting cut. We're not inviting her because she's got sponsors,
of
okay?
course.
no,
We're cutting this part.
but what I'm saying is like her speaker fee is probably a lot. That's what I'm saying. So
Mhm.
We got to
maybe
get big sponsors to take care of that.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
she's not sponsored just by Canon.
Yeah. Sure. Everything she's getting
Yeah.
sponsored.
Also, our merch.
Oh yeah,
Imaging, right?
on your
Yeah.
hoodies.
It says I told them when I need to buy, they charge me 5% more for the order. I was like, okay,
Did you get it from Alibaba or something?
no.
No.
Custom ink,
custom
ink.
ink, custom ink. Yeah,
Next year, we'll get more merch that we can launch
Yeah.
into the
Slingshot,
crowd.
bro.
And we're not going to let Jen throw it.
No. So bad.
She barely, when she was throwing t-shirts, it barely got to the first row. It was so bad.
Thank God for Richard learning from our mistakes and making little
was
cannons
like-
that he can
Yeah,
throw.
he tied it.
He got it all the way to the back.
He
row.
did.
Yeah.
He's making these little knots
Yeah.
like when they unravel, their shirts all wrinkled.
Yeah.
My
So we
one
don't
dream-
need a t-shirt cannon.
No, we do.
We need a slingshot. Just-
That's $100, man.
But giveaways, giveaways,
we need more
and
giveaways.
free merch.
People,
Definitely good.
Thank you to all our sponsors who gave
Thank
us
you, yep.
giveaways.
Mhm.
Pick Time gave us giveaways. Who else?
Miller's
Aftershoot.
Aftershoot.
Yeah.
Aftershoot, a lot
Imagine.
of giveaways. Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
So
Imagine.
thank you so much to our sponsors for all the giveaways. We're gonna really step up our giveaway game next year, and just get people involved.
and these are
People love free stuff.
companies that we all believe in. These
Yep.
are not just like companies that we just
That pay
got on
us.
Right.
board. Like we all use these vendors
Mhm.
and they're crucial to our business.
mhm.
Yeah. So big shout out to all of them.
Yep.
Oh, the other thing is, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the room that we were in was the backup. We were not supposed to have the conference
Right,
room.
right.
Mhm.
Most people
The
don't. know.
I think most people didn't know this.
Right, right.
The original concept was to have a theater style, like in an auditorium, and that room about a month before the actual event, they reached out to us and like, hey, by the way, you don't have that room anymore. I was like, what? And they were like, well, you can reschedule your date. I was like, yo, I already sold tickets to this thing. You can have it in April. I was like, I'm not doing this thing in April, okay?
Oh my God.
So they're like, well, we have this other room that you can use. I was like, what's the cost? He's like, we're not going to charge you anything extra. And I looked at the price sheet. It's actually more expensive. It's about almost 20% more. I'm sorry, 70% more,
Mhm.
almost double.
Is it bigger?
Yep, it's bigger.
I thought theater was like bigger.
Oh no, capacity. That's because you got chairs.
Because they have to do setup. So
Chairs
they charge
and
more for
desks.
setup and stuff.
The auditorium has no tables. The theater has no
Theater
tables.
has no table. Yeah, obviously.
I think people were very happy with the tables.
tables, tables were good.
But with tables, the capacity is only 140.
Yeah,
I
that
think we're
room.
going to break 140 next year.
But
Mm.
if we're bigger, they have the whole reception.
Yeah.
the whole window.
That one they said to do a classroom style in there. I think capacity is 350,
that,
but it's expensive. It's almost 10K
Yep, the
Mm.
wedding room, right?
per day. So
Yeah.
if we're doing 2 days, I got to
It's
come up with 20K.
And then, but
Yeah.
sponsors could
All right.
be.
I got it.
your comedy will pay for it.
I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a tip bucket.
Listen, your photo walk, it's going to be a 90-10 arrangement. I keep the 90%. All right? Just to pay for the space.
But I'm not even gonna use the space for the photo wall.
But what do you call it? But I'm really happy with the space. You guys were with us
Mhm.
through from the beginning stages when we were picking out venues and stuff. We looked at a lot of different spaces. When we walked in, I think all of us were like, "This place is it. This is it."
Mhm.
Right?
I showed a few people the auditorium.
Yeah.
And their first reaction was like, "That's too big,"
Mhm.
and it would have looked very
Empty.
yeah. So they were like that. They were actually they actually liked the space that they gave you better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I told them I don't know if you saw the auditorium. It's all like torn
Yeah.
out.
Oh, they torn
Yeah.
down now.
Oh,
but
yeah, right
but
now.
the chairs were still there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard to visualize it. And I was like, it does feel big, but once you settle down, it's not
Right,
that big,
right.
you
Yeah,
know?
the issue that we came across and we had to troubleshoot the night before was the lighting. You know,
Yeah, lighting
Yeah,
was
that's one thing
yeah.
that we did not
Lighting
think
was
about.
shit.
A room full of photographers.
Shit.
Shit
Shitty
lighting.
lighting.
If
Yeah.
you're wondering why all our photos are black and white,
Yeah. Because it's
it's 'cause
shit.
the light was shit. Nothing we
Yeah.
could do about it.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
let's talk about why that happened. The projector was not strong enough, so we had to kill the lights.
Yep.
And that led to obviously having dark pictures, but we also didn't prepare enough to bring LEDs to highlight the speakers. Not until later. Shout out to Gary Fang for
Are we giving him free press?
I mean, he helped us out. He brought a light. But and when I was thinking about it before I left the house, I told Jen, I like bringing my lights, and I just left them.
Yeah.
And I regretted it. So like next year we'll do a better
We'll
job.
bring all kinds of lights.
Yeah.
But if we're in the auditorium, we'll have
Yeah,
spotlights.
spotlights.
Yeah, that won't be a
Perfect,
problem.
yep.
But let's say for whatever reason, like it's good to just bring them anyway.
Yeah,
Mhm.
have it with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
To
That'd be so
highlight
dope
that.
if we can get 350
But
people.
on
Mhm.
So
yeah,
Mhm.
Bell
That's my-
Works.
that's my
is-
dream.
Yeah, what 300?
350 people
yeah,
show
yeah.
up.
That's that. But we
That's
we
a lot.
don't want to make it way bigger
Yeah.
either.
I feel like
Yeah.
yeah.
Then it becomes like
150.
WPPI.
Right,
and it's
right.
like,
Then
150 would be a
WPI
nice.
way bigger.
no, I'm saying
I
like
know,
the
yeah,
more
we
you
don't-
get, the
yeah.
more it's like overwhelming.
We
You don't
want
get
to
that
cap it at a
intimate.
certain
The-
number.
Yeah.
the
the
less
intimacy. Yep.
personal.
That intimacy, we want
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
I feel like 1 to 200 is probably that
Yeah.
that buffer where
I think max is like 300. Yep. That's the max we'll go. But
Mhm.
we want that intimacy. We talked about this.
Yeah, we want the intimacy.
Yeah,
we
you
don't
keep
want it
saying,
too big.
oh my
Mhm.
God.
But the max capacity of that room is 350. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know.
But in Bellworks' defense, that I think it was their very first time ever hosting like a workshop like this in that pre-function room too.
it
Oh,
was their
really?
first time
Yep,
too.
their first time.
Oh,
too.
everybody's
That
first
Everyone was
time.
trying
yeah,
to figure
like
shit out.
that whole layout. That's why I think even that screen was like put together, like, But that's why they even had one of their other client like walk in the middle, kind of see and get the feel of how the room's gonna be because somebody else wants to do it. And Stephanie was like asking me if it's okay, and
yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
But you know what? Like it would have been nice if they would have like showed it to you beforehand, set up, because we could have probably made some changes and planned better. Like
Right,
we could have
right.
got 2 screens, like what Fernando was saying. It
yeah.
would be nice
It
to
was
have
too last minute for him.
Other, yep,
Right,
yep,
but
yeah.
what I'm saying, like if they would have like showed you in
How,
advance,
yep.
we could have prepared for these.
Yeah, the screen was not as nice. It's okay.
And then imagine we didn't have Fernando. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Big shout out to
Oh
Black
my
Bar Event Group.
gosh, yep.
Yeah.
Like he totally saved the
Like
day.
he knew his shit, you
Yeah.
know? Like, oh my gosh, like
He was like, "You amateurs."
yeah.
You know, Stephanie, like, what do you call it? Stephanie was like, yeah, we can bring our speakers, we can bring all our soundboard, like all that stuff here, and we'll have to charge you for it. But honestly, I think your AV guy, your DJ, he's got it, and you
Yeah.
probably get a better result with him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love to take your money, but you should stick with this for now.
Yeah,
And I was like, I agree with you, 1000%.
Yeah. Big shout
And
out.
he
Got really
provided
lucky.
uplighting too on the stage.
Yeah.
Dude, I only brought him on board like 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We didn't even have him on. We didn't
On
even
the
have him
radar.
on. I was just gonna figure this shit out on the day.
Oh
of.
my God!
Yeah.
Imagine
Oh,
if
there
you
we
hadn't
go.
made
Oh
a
my God.
decision.
Well,
Oh my
Imagine.
God!
let's bring him for an episode 2. Like get to chit chat with him and pick his brain.
We'll never got to put our words in.
But here's the we'll never get a we'll never get a word in.
saying.
Have him come in. He'll be talking the whole hour
It's
and a
just gonna be
half.
Fernando's show.
we could talk about Ecuador.
No. But actually, he runs a very successful associate team too. He does a lot of
He
weddings a year.
does. Yep.
So maybe we can pick his brain about how he runs his
Yeah.
business.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
it'll be helpful
saying-
for DJs and stuff too.
Yeah. Definitely have him on, yep.
There's a couple of DJs that I've been wanting to bring on anyway. So
Yeah.
just to pick their brain of how they operate and do things. It might be similar in some ways, but also different.
Right.
Yeah, let's
I
get 'em
mean, what other vendor upsells 1,000 things? Like,
Right.
right. Like for us, like we try to sell albums, right? Maybe a photo booth and an engagement book. DJs will sell you fucking walking on the clouds, fucking sparklers, fucking same day montage,
Yes.
like you name it. They have like fucking
TV
laser
screen,
lights,
The
like
everything.
robots,
Yep.
robots.
yeah.
The robot's a percussionist.
Yeah.
Everything.
And if anyone's the master of selling extra a la carte items, it's entertainment companies.
And
So
people would
we could
do
all
it.
learn from that.
Yeah, let's bring them on. Let's bring them
Yeah.
on. We got really, you know what? I got to count my lucky stars because a lot of things had to fall into place in order for these things to happen. You know,
Yes.
because Fernando was a happy little accident. That he was available
Yes,
and he was
yes,
available on such short notice too.
Yes.
The fact that we had a venue change from one room to another room,
Mhm.
that was also a happy little accident. Because
Mhm.
I don't know what I would have done with, let's say, 70, 80 people in that big ass
That
auditorium.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That would have filled only maybe 3 rows.
Mhm.
So I'm glad that all these kind of accidents
Happened.
happened. And this kind of forced us to think outside the box and, I think possibly produce a better show. Let's talk. Did you have any questions about conferences and workshops and things like that? The importance of them and
Yeah, I think talking about where we've all started going to conferences and how that changed
yeah,
We're
as you guys
in our business.
Yeah, for folks listening out there, like Karis and I and Joe and Rolando, we really believe in.
Who's Joe?
Who's Joe?
Did I say Joe?
I'm Italian now.
No,
Joe,
he said,
you said Joe.
I
and
was
Rolando.
I put Jenn and Ro.
You just combined them.
So Karis and myself and Jenn and Ro were huge believers in workshops
See
and
something
conferences.
or not?
Keep that in there. All right, sorry.
It's been a long week, y'all. I'm still nursing this cough.
Yeah,
I've
you sound
been
like
sick for
shit.
3
Oh
weeks.
my God, forever.
When I get sick, I stay sick for like 5
The
months.
whole year.
So, but in any case, we're strong believers in attending conferences and workshops because there's only so much that you can learn on your own, going through YouTube videos and kind of just learning while you're out there in the field, reading blogs and doing that kind of stuff. The real magic is going out to meet with others outside of your immediate bubble, and that's where you learn a lot of stuff. Like for you guys, when did you guys start attending conferences outside of? Did you start attending them before WPPI and imaging?
Yeah, I went to a couple like small classes. Like you
Yeah,
did
it
Joe
was,
McNally. We went to the
yeah,
Jasmine Star
That
workshop.
was the Flash Bus tour. It was Joe McNally and David Hobby.
Yeah,
They went around the country teaching about flash photography.
and that we did the Jasmine Star one in the city.
And you made friends at some of these because
We met
You met
Richard.
Richard in Jasmine Stars.
Yeah.
I don't think you met anybody Joe McNally, right?
No, there was a couple people that were local that went, but I was there by myself. I didn't really
Yeah.
talk to nobody.
But it wasn't until WPPI 2016.
that's when you start meeting a lot of people.
We
So
were-
this will be like our 8th or 9th year.
I think that's when we met you guys.
Yeah, it was that year.
Was it that year?
Mhm.
No, it wasn't.
Our
It was
first
the year
year.
after.
Yeah.
No, because that first year we hung out with Guy Andrew and Jamie.
We hung out with Guy Andrew.
Was it?
Yeah, it was that
okay.
first
So you're
year.
right, yeah, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
thought it
I
was the
met
year
him
after.
there. Yeah, workshops and I attended my first one in 2014. So we met JD Land there. Super talented photographer. Now he's living out of a van somewhere in
Yeah, on the
the
West Coast.
desert somewhere.
Living their life.
He's living his best life, right? I photographed his wedding and stuff. Like I've said this before, the power in these conferences and workshops, it's not just what you learn in the classroom. It's happening outside at the cafes, at dinner tables, at the bar, where you meet with others. That's the true power in conferences and workshops. I don't know if you guys know that we have attended workshops in Europe and stuff. Granted, I'm not getting
Pick
referrals.
time. Pick time we met there.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Pick time.
So it's not. It's
way up north.
So we didn't necessarily get like referrals. We're not getting European referrals.
Would
That would
love
be cool.
to.
Though. We would love to, but we're not getting. But that wasn't the reason why we went. We went there to meet with others to see how they were shooting. To
How
get
Europeans do it.
how European. Yeah, we want to.
There's so much. Their creative level is like beyond what us Americans.
Do you know
like,
why?
they just-
Because
Us Americans just copy everything.
yeah.
well, they all shoot in a similar kind of style too,
But like
in a way.
Europeans, they're just raised differently. Their background
approach is
is
a little
yeah,
different.
their approach, their background, their landscape, everything is different. So it's just gonna be different.
Yeah,
just
they had like 1,000-year-old castles and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
For
Yep.
us, something old is about 200 years old, and
that's like so old. Here.
and the Europeans like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
You got something that's 100 years old. That's really cute.
I
Yeah.
have cavities older than that.
Yeah. So I got to hang out with Pick Time, the owners of
Yeah.
Pick Time, and they were a sponsor of
Party.
of the Focus Day of Summit.
Yep, and we met some friends.
We made some great
Yep,
friends, and I
great
think
friends.
we'll be lifelong friends and stuff. It's just good meeting people.
Amazing.
I don't.
yeah.
I know some people have these hang-ups, these social hang-ups where they feel like they're too awkward and they won't function well at these large conferences where you have thousands and thousands of people coming. But the thing is, I'm not saying hi to thousands and thousands of people at WPPI. You know,
Right.
even if I get to meet 10 people or 20 people, that's 10 or 20 new friends. Even last year when I went to WPPI and imaging, that was the first year we actually hung out on site.
Yeah.
In previous
Ben
years,
Karis disappeared. It's like you would
in
never see
previous
them.
years,
Ben would like force me. He's like, we're going out. We're gonna do this. We're
I'm
gonna
like,
do
you're not
that,
going to
we're
this
gonna shoot
class? You're not going to this
people."
party?
Yeah.
No. I'm like, what are you here for? Why are you here?
yeah. So in previous conferences, Karis and I don't know if you guys know this, we're kind of antisocial. We're
Full of shit.
huh? We're
You're
very
full of
we're
shit.
very introverted. We're only extroverted because we have to be, right?
Sure,
So we have to
Ben.
keep to ourselves, you know.
Sure,
But the thing
Ben.
is, we enjoy being out with others, but it's very exhausting for us. But in any
Oh,
case,
it's so exhausting.
so when we attended these WPPI and imaging in past years, actually imaging last year was our first time, but when we
Yeah.
attended in the past, we just kept to ourselves. We didn't really socialize. But last year, 2023, was the first year we actually
Went to stuff.
went to
Went to
stuff
parties.
and
Yep.
went to
Yeah.
parties and said hi to people.
And also, we go to bed pretty early, so.
yeah, we're homebodies. So, but in any case, if it hadn't been for that, we wouldn't have met all these incredible people.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Taylor Jackson, shout out to you. Sam Hurd, shout out to you. Esteban Gill, shout out to you.
Mhm.
The Imagine folks, Aftershoot folks.
Justin and Veronica, favorite people
Justin
ever.
and Veronica.
Esteban,
Hey,
if you're
Christine
listening,
and Scott are pretty cool too.
Well,
Yeah.
that's your people.
if you're listening, Esteban, we're waiting for our photos.
We'll grill him when he gets here. We'll grill him when he gets here. We got to meet the asset team
Mhm.
over there at
Hung
Imaging,
out
right?
there.
So like meeting people is where it's at. They weren't teaching any classes. I mean, they were on the conference floor, but
Mhm.
they weren't really teaching anything. They were just going out there shaking hands, meeting with people.
Mhm.
And then
it
it
had-
was like spontaneous. They just invited us.
They just invited us out to lunch.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
weren't-
yeah,
we
yeah.
weren't even part of
Oh,
it.
dinner.
Jenn and Ro paid
that's-
for it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I introduced Ben to Michaela.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the
And
asset
then
team.
she
And
was
then,
like,
yep.
just
What are you
come with us to
doing?
dinner.
Yep.
Jenn and Ro's clients are paying for it
Yeah.
as a joke. But yeah, like the whole goal was like, when we make like valuable connections, we want to, share those connections with like-minded people too. I feel like once you have a network and you meet certain people at these conferences, you kind of want your friends who are also on the same level and the same trajectory
Mhm.
to be associated with similar-minded people. And yeah, it's helped a lot. It's helped like some of 'em- even if I haven't like I never look for anything in return
Mhm.
when I meet people. Like you said, you went to this conference in Europe. You're not expecting leads.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get leads.
Yeah,
in
just to
Europe.
learn from the
Yep.
culture there.
Yeah,
you know,
just see
you're-
what they're
How
doing.
they're
That's
doing,
all.
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
and that's similar to like when we go to WPI. Like I
Yeah.
always make new friends, and we'll stay in touch through like Facebook, Instagram. But it like is just more of like a mutual respect, and where in this industry that could be very alone sometimes,
Very.
and it's nice to be able to share similar stories with other people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Find your tribe.
That was good. Yep. Because we don't really have coworkers, like
Mhm.
we're just
Well, husband and wife teams do.
Right, but
Yeah.
even
She don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Just
just like I don't talk to you, she doesn't talk to him.
She don't talk to me.
Listen, I am working. I am working.
Good.
And we
yeah.
haven't missed a year since the WPPI. I don't know what I would do if I missed a year. Severe
Well,
FOMO.
I'm going every year now, so it is
Yeah.
what it is.
We went during like that little summer one. That
Oh, yeah, during COVID. We went to that
Yeah,
one too.
And
that
that
one
one
was
was
fun.
great because it was more
Way
intimate.
smaller, yeah.
The
Did we go
expo
to that
sucked
one?
though.
Mm-mm.
The expo was horrible. It was like because a lot of vendors like there's
Didn't
not gonna
go.
be nobody there.
Yeah.
But the networking that year was like
Smaller,
so
yep.
much more personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a lot more networking in about 2 weeks.
Yes.
Are you going to the Fundy party? I'm going to the Fundy
I'm
party.
going to the funny party.
Yeah, Fundy.
Mm-hmm.
Fundy's gonna be joining us on the podcast pretty soon. I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Couple
I'm
weeks.
gonna get him on the calendar.
Mhm.
Dope. A lot of fun.
Have to write
He's a
up
fun
the
guy.
imaging. Yep.
He's a fun guy.
And we'll chat with a lot of people while we're out there to bring them on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what are we talking about today, Ro? You're in charge.
You're in gut tea today. I don't got nothing.
Is it etiquette, right? Etiquette?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
etiquette.
Yep.
So we don't really have a hot topic, but
This is a hot topic.
I guess
It's spicy.
I want to retouch on. So being that I used to second shoot pretty often back then, I always took the time to learn who the primary was and basically try to mimic how that person represented their business. I've been lately I've been hearing these stories, these like about other second shooters, and I'm just baffled at the stuff that I hear. So what I wanted to talk about today is like proper second shooter etiquette, right? Like things that are no brainer, like you should never do this, right? One of the things is handing out, your contact
So
info.
what's the exact tea?
Okay, so
That
the
came
T
from
is
one of your
that
birds.
there's a local person who's been second shooting for the people I know, has been two people, and this person has been poaching clients
And
on
referrals.
the wedding day, yeah, and also trying to connect with the venue contact to try to get on their list.
Uh,
So this person's
I know somebody
he's
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this person is not there to help and serve the primary. He's there on a selfish
Mission.
His own
intention.
motive. Yeah,
Mhm.
he has
Yeah,
his own motive.
not only is he getting paid to do his job, but the goal here is to create connections that would never be like he would never come across these connections because they're not his weddings.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So, two people had the same issue where he was, poaching their clients or somebody in the wedding party.
Was there someone who was kind of like playing devil's advocate? It's like, yeah, he didn't do anything wrong.
No, it's just more of
Pretty
like,
universal.
this.
Yeah.
It's just common sense. Like you should never do that. It's not your wedding. You're getting paid to provide a second angle. Like what gives you the right? The primary has done all the years of marketing themselves and paying for whatever they're paying for, and you just come in and try to just get a free
This second
ride.
shooter is he new?
I think so, like sort of. I
He's
mean,
newish.
the work is okay. Oh, but not only is he poaching clients on a wedding day, but he's also stealing someone he's worked for's website, like the aesthetic of the website, and also even mimicked
And the copy too.
an image,
Like
not the copy, an image.
like it looks almost identical.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. You're right.
Remember?
Well, I mean, you can be inspired by others. I mean, like a lot of other photographers. When you guys look into who I follow on Instagram, you guys can see these people's influence on my
Of
work.
course, but that shouldn't be. You could get inspired and use it as part of your portfolio, maybe.
Right. Or the
But-
style.
Yeah, the style, but it was pretty identical. It was both
The
like
same
similar
location,
editing, location,
The same area that it
colors,
happened.
Yep.
They're,
As a front page,
Yeah.
like
you know, the photographers who inspire me, they have several images that are like trademarked there. Like, I wouldn't say trademark because,
right.
but it's like it's their image when you see it,
Mhm.
Of
right?
course.
So even when I do it and I deliver it, I don't show it because I'm like, oh my god, everyone's gonna know that I copied this
Right.
dude.
Of course.
Mhm.
So I don't even I have enough self awareness
Yeah.
to not do that because yeah, it's okay to be influenced by others. Copying is the sincerest form of flattery. However, that's not. You got to try to make it your own. That's the thing.
Yeah.
For me, I was just trying to try new things to see if I can actually do it. Because even like look at it this way. The composite lighting, right? Where you do a composite photograph
Right,
with
right.
the soft boxes and stuff. I don't think there were that many people doing it 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
No, it was a
Mhm.
handful.
Yeah. But now you got a lot of people doing it, right?
Mhm.
So is it right to say that that's copying?
No,
You
but
know?
you're not. But it's one thing if you're doing just composites, but it's one thing if you're going to the same venue, same exact
location.
spot, like same number of people,
Yeah.
same
Edited the
posing,
And
exact
just the
same way.
same,
direction, right?
the same action
Right,
that's
action,
happening
editing.
in the photo.
Then it's copying.
But
Yeah.
look at it this way, right? Let's take the Park Chateau. We've all been to Park Chateau, right? You got the big a grand staircase in the lobby, right? And you just do a hugging pose with the dress coming down the stairs, and they're just hugging, looking at each other, and then you.
But that's a traditional.
That's a
photo
traditional
where-
photo.
That's
there.
like
Yeah,
a must-have
like-
there.
This
Yeah.
was way like with creative intent, and especially not so much in the shot, but the editing
Yeah, but
afterwards.
this copied photo is a very creative shot.
Right.
You
Oh
know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I
I know what shot you guys are talking
mean? Yeah,
about.
the black and white one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and then
coming down the
it's the homepage.
We're just coming at you for
Yeah.
playing devil's
It's-
advocate right now.
It's the homepage on the original
Yeah.
person's website, and here you are. You worked with this person, and you do the same
Yep,
shit.
same thing.
As a second shooter, you should not be poaching other people's clients. You're not there to build your portfolio. You're not there to make your own reels and pretend it's your wedding. No, you're being paid for a service, and you should be there to provide that service. If the primary lets you use the images to post,
Yep.
great. If not,
Don't.
you got paid for
Mhm.
your job.
Don't.
And that's where I feel like a lot of newcomers feel entitled to, oh, I shot this, I should be able to share it.
Mhm.
No, this person did all the work. This person has all the years of experience that led this client down their funnel, you're just reaping all the benefits. It's like me finding gold and everybody comes in and takes all my gold.
Right.
Like, I found it. I found it first.
And
you've been digging for it for
I can
years.
grab it, but
Yeah. And it's I've been seeing this for years, and I feel like because a lot of people don't talk about it enough, they post it in groups. They'll call out people, but they won't post who did it. And how will we hold people accountable if no one ever says anything?
Right.
You know,
We
people
should
need
call
to be
out people on
called
bad
out.
behavior. When they're behaving badly, we should call people out.
Say their names.
Let's normalize calling people out.
Stop posting anonymously.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, and that's our tea or hot topic
That
for
was-
this week.
You feel better?
Yes.
Look,
Let it out. Let it out.
Look, Jen Molina has pickles and biscuits in her eyes right now.
That's my man.
Oh Lord. You're a mess.
I think I talked about this in another episode. I was able to get to a dream venue, shoot at a dream venue, and my second shooter, she sent sneak peeks to the coordinator the next day.
I did not send it to
And now she's on the preferred vendor list, and she's been shooting weddings there nonstop for the last couple of years.
Maybe my photos were just that much better.
And I don't even get a phone call. I get nothing.
Well, call that person out.
It's Karis now, okay?
Maybe just my photos were that much better. I have like fans just reaching out to me and be like, "Oh my God, I love your work."
This is a
You
very
know?
unique instance where like the money's still coming anyway, so like it's fine.
I'm working over here, okay?
Yeah. The money's still coming to the same funnel.
To get a wife exemption pass for that.
Yeah.
Wait, I do have a question. This is a serious question, right? Do you guys have separate bank accounts? Like you have your own money and
No.
you have your own money?
No.
It's all joint?
I feel like we should do an episode on finance one day.
Yes.
Learn early on. We've been together since we had nothing,
Right.
right? So we both
Or like 18. So
Yeah.
we didn't have
Yeah.
any bank accounts
Right.
really.
We both brought
Nothing.
nothing,
Nothing.
nothing,
Bodies.
nothing, and everything
Yeah,
into this
yeah.
relationship.
Mhm.
And if it works for you, that's fine. What I've seen over the years is that people that don't share a bank account have a lot of issues because of the financial situation, that they have.
Mhm.
I think it's easier to just do one bank account. We tried single accounts one time. It just made no sense. But yeah, we just share one account and everything
Yeah.
gets
One for income, one for bills. So whatever needs to go into bills goes there, and we have
Yeah, we
our play money.
Once upon a time, we had separate accounts when we first started dating, but that was it. After we got married, I think it's been a joint account ever since.
Mhm. It's
Um,
easier too, I feel like.
Yeah, and I don't even do anything with my personal banker. It's you. You
Yeah,
look at
you had
it,
like
Yeah.
$400.
$400 in there for like
Like
5
forever.
years.
He's like, it's
It's
you
just
know, you
sitting
still
there.
have it. I'm like, okay.
So we just consolidated.
It's so much more complicated to have separate accounts. Like there's the time involved to manage those and to separate. And how do you know like how much to pull from this to pay for that? It's just to me, it's just
Yeah.
It's like I pay this bill and you pay
Yeah.
this bill. Whatever. It's all our bills.
we're gonna pay this bill.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
You know how
this.
like Venmo shows you like other people's activities, and I
Mhm.
always think husband and wives like send each other money, and you see like the
Really?
little
Oh.
light bulb emoji. I'm like, oh, this one's sending the money for the light bill, or this one's sending the money for this, and I'm just like,
Or-
that's so much
or-
work.
Or sometimes you see an eggplant emoji.
That too. I've seen that too.
That's hilarious. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like
He's
I don't,
never
I
on
don't-
Venmo.
I'm not on Venmo. That's why.
Yeah, but you can see other people's business
Yeah.
on what
Yeah.
they're sending
Unless
each
you
other.
make it private, but
yeah, but I'll see like
Yeah.
friends of
Everyone's-
mine. They'll send like
Pizza
their
money.
yeah, they'll send money to their
If-
spouse.
Yeah.
If you're dating,
That's
that's a given. But if you're married, I feel like it's just
Easier.
Yeah, but
there
I mean,
should be
but
a
our-
joint account.
but our
you know what I
business
mean?
accounts are all separate. So Hey Karis has her account
Mhm.
and
Right.
Ben Lau
Do
has
not touch
his own
it.
account.
Hey,
I have
Karis has all
access
the
to it.
money.
But of course that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
you know,
Right, because
you
clients
also
pay for
right,
that.
and
Yeah.
you also want to track like what's coming
Taxes,
from Hey
yep.
Karis, what's coming
But my
from
money always
Ben
goes
Lau.
to I give money to Ben Lau, you know, but yeah.
Because Ben Lau pays all the bills. You have 0 bills coming out of your account.
I do.
It's all your camera gear all the toys that you buy for yourself.
Yes.
You're like the
Yes,
Rolando
import,
Molina in this
import.
relationship.
Exactly.
Important.
100%. 100%.
Shout out to Sam Hurd. I spent $300 last night.
Yeah. Well, that's when I told you, let's get this.
The,
So that
the
was
360.
me.
Yeah, it makes sense. I
Yeah.
want it.
Yeah, I'm gonna just put it on my
I have a
sling.
GoPro on my camera.
It's way smarter. You could have my GoPro. Now you have 2 GoPros.
I don't need 2 GoPros. I don't need
And
2
mine's
GoPros.
Yeah,
better.
but like what Sam was saying, that like he's tried both, and
Yeah.
what happens is that people are more aware of the video camera that's hanging on top of your camera, and just like just kind of.
And then GoPro's like, it's a little slow and it's a little stupid. That's why I stopped using it. The
I'm curious to feel like a cop, like I have a body cam,
little thing, yeah.
and you see
Yeah.
my hands.
And then
Shooting.
it's auto stabilized, like stabilizes it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I know what Sam was saying. That it doesn't matter if it's tilted.
Horizon, yeah, it makes it
And
correct.
it has
Yep.
like a level.
Yep.
Like it automatically levels itself.
Yeah.
I just have to figure out how to mount it to my harness, because Jed messaged Sam. He goes, I just put rubber bands on it. So I mean that might work, but I just want to find like a cleaner way to mount it. I think I'm gonna put it on my holdfast, like on the extra clip. Just leave it there hanging.
Yeah. But
it's
let's
gotta be like-
wrap up on your topic
Yeah.
about second shooter etiquette. Yeah, don't copy, don't poach the lead shooters' stuff, their content, their work. There was another something very similar. Somebody was stole the entire website and copy and everything, and then blamed it on Fiverr.
Yeah.
Who the hell? Why are you hiring someone on Fiverr to write your copy?
Yeah, that's just an excuse. They stole it blatantly,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
can't
They knew
prove
what
it.
they're doing. Yep.
Another thing is like don't freaking post a reel the next day before the primary, tagging the venue and everything. Like, you kidding me?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
just
Ben
taking
Lau.
away all the juice from
Watch
the-
it, Ben.
Somebody
Lau.
brought it up in this Facebook group. He's like, she was like, I worked with this lead shooter at this venue. Lead shooter has no relationship with this venue. They this venue really enjoyed working with me, and they reached out to me for photos. I was like, yo, that's not yours to take.
Oh, second shooter.
Yes, I was like, listen, if you want to have a relationship with this venue,
Do the right thing.
do the work separately.
Yep.
Like maybe go on a separate day, or do like a venue tour, write about the venue. If you want to feature the venue, you cannot use the images that you shot for the lead shooter. You got to these got to be your own images.
And legally, these people, they could come after you. Like,
See, the thing is, I
Yeah,
understand
but
that
like a lot of people don't sign contracts with second shooters.
you
It's
wouldn't
just-
you wouldn't have had that relationship to begin with the lead shooter. I was like, maybe as a courtesy, you can tell them, hey, listen, I really enjoyed working this venue. Would it be okay? I don't know. That's a little bit messy. Because like, why? I'm never going to tell my second shooters you can't have a relationship with this venue. Only because there's no way for me to stop that from happening. But the thing is, you just can't use the images that you did while working with us. I think that would be a very fair compromise. If you want a relationship with them, serve them with images that you produce on your own time,
right.
not on my client's time.
and even then, that's you'll get a little bit more. People will be more laid back. Like I would let somebody use their images for portfolio. Granted, if the client is okay with, some clients don't want anything posted.
Right.
If I can't
that
post it, you
too.
can't post
Yep.
it. But I would have no problem if you print the stuff to show it like in your studio, make an
Privately.
album out of it.
Privately.
Fine,
Yep.
feel free. But don't tag the venue. Don't post them. Don't tag the venue.
Yeah.
Don't tag me in it. Like stuff like that. I feel like once you put it into social media, it's just like,
It's there forever.
yeah, it has a higher chance of someone to see it and think, reach out to you instead. And it's like I feel like you're just riding the train and just trying to get
You're
another
riding on
free
the
ride.
coattails of the primary.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings on that. But the final word on this is I think that you should do your own work.
Yep.
As a second shooter, do your own work, get your own relationships. We all got to start from somewhere. Don't take the shortcuts. No matter how sexy they might seem. Do your own work. It's because the thing is, once you've earned it, it's yours. No one can ever take that away from you.
Mhm.
All right. You don't want drama. You don't want to burn bridges.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's about relationships.
Facts.
Perfect.
I think that's a good way to
Good
wrap up this episode.
Good wrap up.
Yeah.
We're getting hungry.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that just about wraps up today's episode.
Yep.
A little bit of Focus AF Summit talk.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit about how to be a better second shooter, not be a jerk, asshole
Yeah.
second shooter.
And
Jerk
conferences.
asshole.
Yeah.
All the benefits of attending conferences and learning, and
Networking.
Networking.
meeting.
1000%.
this episode is brought to you by the Focused AF Summit 2025.
You beat me to it. That's the first announcement. for the Focus AF Summit 2025. You guys going to be getting a little break from me for about a month or two.
A month or two.
And we'll be right back at it.
We're not getting the
feel
break. You guys are getting a break.
Yeah.
We'll be
I-
hearing it
yeah.
behind the scenes.
I feel like the 2 conferences that we're going to be attending is going to be
Yeah.
Very different experience for us now.
Yeah.
it's going to be a good target to
We
Consider-
we have
consider
our,
some speakers.
We have our
and,
focus.
Yeah,
Do you think that this
Wait,
episode...
are we going
Going,
Focus AF to the
yes.
conferences?
Hey, are
we
we...
have our focus.
Do you think that this will be done before we head out in 2 weeks?
Probably.
So for those of you who, I think I'm going to make this offer now. So for those of you guys who, because I think that this episode would air before we head out to Louisville for imaging and before we head out to WPP, definitely before WPPI, right? So the 4 of us are going to be attending both imaging and WPPI. If you can take a selfie with the 4 of us, that's the deal here, okay?
What?
Four
All
of us?
four?
All 4 of us?
All
Not just
4
one?
of us, not just one. You got to get all 4 of us a selfie with us,
How about separate but 4 of us?
like a
Like 4
like a
separate.
scavenger hunt.
What if each one with Ro or
Oh, I see what
together?
you're saying, like, if we're not together-
Yeah,
Get it all.
you're gonna have someone
You
like
need
following
one
going
shot.
to the bathroom.
You need one shot 4 of us.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
what
so.
you mean?
Mhm. Yeah, you gotta find us because we'll probably be hanging out.
Anyway,
That's true.
I'll be at after shoot booth.
I will be
Come
there.
see me
Imagine
on
booth.
Monday.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
Monday in the afternoon.
If you happen to
We'll
find
be
us
handing
separately.
out lollipops and demoing.
All right, so then we're gonna do a scavenger hunt. All right, you need to take a selfie with the 4 of us, whether it's all together or separately.
Mhm.
You need to take a selfie with the 4 of us, the Focus AF podcast
Mhm.
host. So it's me, Karis, Jenn, and Ro. And if you can share it on your social, tag us.
Tag us.
Right? I think there might be a drawing for a free ticket for the Focus AF Summit
Ooh,
2025.
That's a big one. It's not just a t-shirt.
No, not a t-shirt. I think what we're gonna do is like we'll do a raffle or something. We'll have something cool for these guys.
Yeah.
But what if multiple people do it? You
Then
give
there's more people
multiple
in it.
tickets out?
Maybe.
Mhm.
I don't know.
We'll
I
see how
haven't
generous
decided
Ben
yet.
feels after.
Yeah,
It depends.
What if 100 people do it?
But you have to attend these conferences, okay?
Yep.
And because sharing is caring, you need to share this on your social media profiles, story, tag us, and that way we know that you're doing it.
Mhm.
And well, I'll have something cool for you guys. I think it might be a free ticket. How many free tickets do you think I'm going to give out anyway? You know? How many people are actually going to do this?
Right?
Because I know
We'll
what
have
our
maybe
listenership-
one person.
Because I know what our listenership is. I think that we'll get maybe
I don't
3.
know. Our friends, maybe.
Because I think it's like I think at most, I don't know, maybe 5 I can give away 5 tickets, you know? So
I will now have to make a post on social, Ben.
Yeah.
now we have to make a post on
Yeah.
social.
Yeah.
You need to
Before
take
we
a
go.
selfie with the 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Tag us. Let us know you listen to the show, why you love the
We'll make
show.
a reel.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be cool.
Yeah, we'll make a reel.
All right? Come find us wherever we are. Karis is going to be at the after shoot booth.
Oh,
I would be the
or
imagine.
we could kind of, whenever we're all together, we could kind of hint like where we are, little nuggets.
You got to find us.
Yeah.
That'd be
It's fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
Where's the escape
Scavenger
room
hunt.
in
We'll
Louisville?
we'll have a
You'll
map.
find us
We'll
in the
have a
escape
map.
room.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do, okay? So anyway, come find us. Imaging, Karis is going to be at the after shoot booth. I'm going to be at the Imagine booth, I think on Monday.
Monday afternoon, we said.
Yeah, we're going to be there. So come get your selfie there. And I don't know where Jenn and Ro is going to be hanging
They're
out
going to
Monday.
be at after shoot booth.
Yes, we will. We will be at after shoot. We'll
Right.
probably go hang out at Geekoto.
Yep.
Definitely at the Nikon stage. Our friends are talking, so we're really excited about that.
Yeah, come find us. We're always on the conference floor.
Yep.
That's what
Mhm.
we go there for.
Yep.
So come find us, take a selfie with us. You guys are gonna get something cool. All right, so who's gonna wrap up tonight?
You.
Again? We gotta write this thing down because
I know. We
I
all
might
go
not be in-
blank.
all right, guys. So thank you all so much for joining us this evening on this episode. If you'd like to check out our bloopers and highlight reels and all that good stuff, you can check those out on our Instagram page at instagram.com/focus.af.
Who's going to Instagram.com?
Instagram.com.
All right. So if you'd like to follow us on social
Ben doesn't ever
What are
use
they using?
Instagram.
Like a sidekick to go online?
guys,
That's a good blooper.
I'm medicated.
His old.
So if you guys like to check out the behind the scenes bloopers, highlight reels, all that good stuff, you can find us on Instagram at focused.af. I don't know what we put on the website,
No.
but you can check us out on the website at focus-af.com as well.
Right.
If you have some stories you'd like to share with us, some tea, whatever it is, you can send that over to us at hello@focus-af.com. On that note, are you guys focused AF?
We
Yeah.
are.
We're hungry
We're-
AF too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be. Once I have that steak, I'll be more focused.
Lucky for you, I'm wearing my steak pants.
Fancy pants.
I want to put on my New Balances right now, and we're gonna be ready to rock and
Oh,
roll.
it's very fancy. the
Those-
dad shoes.
Those are definitely not snowproof.
And then there's slip-ons too. All his shoes.
You're gonna end up on the floor with those.
I'm ready to mow the lawn, y'all. All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.
Bye.
Focused AF is a fun, business-focused podcast for wedding creatives.
Co-hosted by award-winning husband and wife wedding photography teams Ben and Karis.
And Jenn Ro, where we help fellow wedding creatives with their sales and marketing.
With laid-back conversations and real talk with some of our most favorite people in the universe.
And with that being said, are you focused AF?
I am Focused AF today.
We are Focused AF.
I think I might be Focused AF.
Welcome to the Focused AF podcast.